What's up, you guys? Welcome to my channel. Today we got this Arrma felony here that took us a little bit of beating, and we got a 1 million oil diff oil. We're gonna put in the front and back. The reason is we don't want any traction loss to one wheel and to the other. That will make the car drift right to the left. So it's nice and solid straight. If you want to lock up your diff, it's all up to you. Not recommend anything that you should be doing with your RCs, but at the same time we'll do a little bit of repairs here. But anyways, let's this baby get its diff oil. So we're gonna pop up the canopy, and we're gonna start by removing the front splitter here, down here, which lost screws. We got 2 screws down here, so we'll take all that off. We'll take this off. We'll heat up this splitter here and make it nice and straight. And we'll probably tape this up because we're not gonna replace these pieces. And we're gonna make it air dim in the front a little bit, like a little wing in the front. And we're gonna get this job ready, and we're gonna do the front and back. That's what it's gonna be. And at the same time, we lost the little pin right there that popped out. I don't know how that's gonna work out. It could be stripped, broken, but we'll check that out once time gets there. We got a small rock in here, and I'm thinking about changing the system, or we might leave it as it is, but let's see how this thing goes. Okay, so let's put this baby to its side. Oops, whole bunch of stuff fell off. So we're gonna take off this little guy and this little guy. And we're gonna put the splitter to the side, and we will try to straighten it up as much as we can, or we'll just get a new one. But right now, it just needs to sit to the side. And there goes my diff oil on the floor. Okay, that can sit right there. Okay, so to take off the front end, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take off a whole bunch of screws. I do have missing screws here. That's fine. So what we'll do is we'll start off by switching up our socket here, and let's see if this one works good here. Yep. So there's something wrong here, and we dropped our little guy right here. Let's come back down. Okay, there's the screw here. Whoa, I think it was just everything just wiggled. I don't know if this thing is damaged, broken. That screw looked like it's bent. So from the impact, baby, this little screw is totally bent. Who would thought a screw up there would get bent when the damage is all the way into the corner here? Small little hit, but it was high speed. Even this little guy over here. So both of these little screws are bent. This one's bent as well. We'll figure that out. So what we need to do next is we need to get this guy off. This guy does not want to come out due to the fact that, okay, I see the bolt from the top is gone. So there is no bolt, and that screw, there is no nut on the top, and that screw is smashed into the plastic, so I'm gonna have to tap it and get it out of there. So we'll be right back. Okay, so I just yanked it down, and let's see if we can get this guy off. Okay, there you go. So there's one screw here and one screw here. So these 2 little guys right here, which are gone for me, and there's a hell of a dirt. And there's what the felony looked like without the front guard. Alright, so we're right at the diff. We're gonna figure this guy out. How are we gonna do this? And what we need to do is we're gonna loosen this and this and this. Take this off, take this off, take that off, take that off. No, I'm sorry, take this off, take this off, take this off, and take this off. 4 screws, loosen up this so our sway bar is out of the way as well. And the diff will pop right out. At the same time, what I like to do is I like to take one of these screws off so the axles can pop out. But we'll try to manage it without the axle. The process is same in the back, but you need to take off the back's diffusers and stuff. So let's clean this off. Brush is really good. You can blow air on it, but I just like to work with the brush. Throws everything off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by just losing these two screws right here, and your sway bar holder will come off, and then we're gonna take off. Let me just put this camera to another angle because we're not capturing nothing. Well, we are capturing, but it's just that the light, reflection, shadow. There's our 4 screws done. And now I need to go grab me a tool. I have something sitting here. Flat screwdriver, anything will work, or a tool such as this. Anything that's gonna help you yank this Diff cover. What I like to do is push this upward and the cover comes off. And remember I told you about the axles are gonna bother you. So they're definitely gonna bother us here. Definitely gonna bother us here. Anyways, what we want to do here is we want to just give it a small little force and see if we can maneuver this guy out. And our shocks are here gonna bother us. So instead of taking off the control arm, today I'm gonna try a different route. I'm gonna try to pull off these pins from the shocks and see how that works out. Go grab a needle nose. Some people like to lock up the front, some people like to lock up the back. I do all 4, and we got all front, all 2 front and back. And in the center we have a spool. We don't have a diff, so that eliminates that. So I don't know if this is gonna work out for me, because remember these got serious amount of force. Okay, there you go. There you go. Let's see if we can manage this guy to come out now. Yep, we got it. Usually these bolts right here bothers me as well, but sometimes I get away, sometimes I don't get away. Okay, but there you go. There's our diff. We're gonna tear this baby apart, and this is 4215 right there. You guys can see that's the gearing for this felony here. Anyways, give me a moment to clean this baby up, to put it to the side, and we can have the table just for the diff. Okay, so our next process here is put this baby right here. Let's get the diff right here. Got a couple of tissues on the side. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna tear this diff apart. 4 little screws. And here comes the baby. There you go. Not a hell of oil in there. That's fine. So now what we need to do is we need to take out, eliminate all the oil. So if you want to move the gears out, you can do so, but I like to just wipe them clean and just use a tissue to just suck all the oil off this. And I like to let it just sit there for a while for this part, what I'm going to do here is, you have a seal here, so make sure your seal doesn't break. So when you try to pull these out, your seal's going to want to come out with it. So that's something you want to pay attention to now. So make sure your seal, if you want to take it off, you can just take it off. And just try not to pull it with this because it will rip apart. And there's our gears. There's our gears. And stick a tissue in here. This is all I do. Stick a tissue in here. Then I'll just let it sit for like an hour. All the oil just comes out. First, I'll try to suck as much as I can. And that feels pretty good. Then I just let it sit there for a long time. And make sure you don't lose parts of these. So I'll do the same thing here. I just grab this section of the gear with the shaft and the little spacers, just like that. And if you let these guys sit for a long time, all this oil is just gonna come down and go into the bottom tissue. Just let it sit there. Even if some people can even do it overnight, leave it overnight, and all the oil is just gonna drip off it down. And that's all you really need to do. You don't need to throw any solvent, any cleaner on this baby. So here it is. Here's the gear. So this thing already has sucked all the juice of it. And I'm gonna let it sit here for a while. Not overnight, probably 40 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll take a break and I'll charge up my camera. So we're back. It's been a while, and let's see what we could do here. So check this out. Look at this. So you see all that oil? It's just there sitting around with oil dripping down. And if you want to do a little bit more, just take some tissues and just try to get all of it out. But if you leave it overnight, that'd be the best thing you could do. But now we're gonna get to a point where those questions start. How much? Why? You know, it's all optional. I'm not forcing anybody to put diff oil in their car. It's all your choice. And how much is too much? How little is too little? That's all up to you. So we're gonna get these planetary gears in there. They don't need to sit right in the corners here. And this thing is not looking good, so you could probably just play around with it a bit until you get them to sit in the corner to corner. And that shaft have a small little groove which needs to be facing up. And on the second shaft here with the gears on it, make sure that you have the little washers. There's a small little washer between the gear and this back plate. And same thing here. We're gonna put this in. It's all gonna go together. And this one, if you need to twist it, like mine sat down properly, it has a small little notch. So the notch and notch meets and it becomes flush. Okay, so our next step here is, what I like to do is, I like to put the seal onto this baby right here. And let's take our little screws. Let's align at least 2 screws before we go any further. It's going to be really tough to line things once you have that crazy fluid, the million diff oil. So we might have to twist this so it can go through the gasket just like that. Once you have 2 in place, the other 2 shouldn't be so difficult. Okay, you don't want to just destroy that gasket. I'm just trying to see if the camera can see it so you guys can see it. If the camera can see it, you can see it. There you go. Just start it off. So that is ready. That is ready. So yes, those questions. How much is too much? A lot of people say don't go pack it up crazy. Keep it halfway. But our point here is, a lot of people say if you pack it up completely, it will explode. It will blow the seals. Yes, it will do that, but that's if both of your wheels, one wants to go the other way, the other wants to, you know, that once the diff starts doing its thing, and it wants to do it, and boom, the greasing, the million oil has to go somewhere. It's gonna try to escape. But it's not going to come to that. We don't want it to come to that because we want everything to be locked and move as slow as possible, as little as possible, and still have good steering. So if you do lock up your front diff completely, you might not have steering. So we do want steering. It's not like we want to eliminate our steering. So we're going to take a good chunk of this diff oil, million. That should be more than enough right there. So what I like to do is I like to stick this guy right here. A lot of people use popsicle stick. It's a good idea, but this is good as well. I had fun with doing this. And once you do that, try to get all the fluid, the diff oil on there, and you might want to tap on it. Tap, 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 tap. Turn, 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 turn. Tap, 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 tap. You don't want to turn crazy either because it will try to pop up out of there. And I think I just got a perfect amount of a diff oil in there, and I'm happy with that. So this diff oil, it is going to be tight, but it's not going to be locked. And some people try to put 20 million in there. You'd rather just put Gorilla Glue or epoxy. That will do the job. Okay, so if you have just enough space for the second gear, this end has a gear to go on. So what we want to do now is we want to make sure both of our screws are going to sit onto the holes. So we're going to try to capture one. Once we capture one, we're going to try to capture the threads on the other one. And what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way. But we're going to stop right before it snugs in. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 more screws. And this is going to be the last one right here. Now we're going to tighten this baby by hand. There you go. Nice and snugged. Nice and snugged. You don't want to crack that seal by going crazy. Just enough. There you go. Double check. And we're all set. Notice, none of my fluid came out through here. That's perfect. And look at the difference. Before we do the back one, you're not going to see me do the back one, but I am going to be doing the back one. Once I'm done with this, I'll turn the front wheel and the back wheel. You'll see the difference. Anyways, if you got excessive here, you want to take your rag, you want to clean it up really well. That's it. We're done. Time to reverse the procedure on this baby. I'm going to clean up everything, and we're going to come right back. Okay, so our car is back. And what we're going to do is we're going to put everything back together, and then we will check. So we have to get our diffs in with the axle. And this baby drops right in. Make sure it's nice and flush. Put the cover on. 2 screws, 4 screws on the cover, and 2 for the sway bar. And you're all set. So once I'm complete here, I had to get new screws. They all bent. And tighten everything up. Put the shocks in. Put the front canopy on. And you're all done. And we will check this, but I do need to get some new screws since they're all bent. All these are bent, and I'm missing a few.
That's it, broke the fucking diff.
Okay, guys, so I'm all done here. So I just want to show you guys the difference from the back to the front. The front is the only one we changed diff oil on. But watch this. I'm holding onto this wheel. Look at that. But check this one out. One in the back. This one is front. So look at this one in the back. I'm going to hold this wheel. See that? That's the difference. So let's bring this over. We'll do the same thing again. I'm going to grab this side. Nothing. Okay, so it's pretty much holding up pretty good. Let's try the back one again. See the difference there? This one's going to turn because both of the wheels are in the front are turning after I spin. But if I hold this wheel, this thing does almost about 2 to 3 turns. This one will not do that. So if you want to do tire lose traction, it will try to compensate together than just one losing traction and then all the power output goes to one. So it makes a little bit of a difference, and the car will be a little bit going straight. Anyways, guys, to do the back, everything is same. Everything is same. All you need to do is take off the screws in the bottom. Right here, you're gonna take off these two, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you're gonna take off the screws for this guy right here, which are 2 over here. The whole rear end is gonna come off, and then from there, you just attack the diff. Same thing. From on this, I like to take off the wheel and this control arm screw instead of the shock, and the axles will come to one side. Anyways, I'm gonna be doing that next, and I will show you the difference. Once I'm completed, everything should be nice and perfect. Okay, so I'm all done. Watch this. So we're all set. All 4 wheels will rotate equally and they're stiffened up. You can feel the gumming, the thickness of that diff oil if you grab both of these tires and turn them opposite direction, and if you hold one and the other. Okay, that's it. Felony needs a little bit of more work, and it's gonna go back in action. Thank you for watching.